holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. And what I want us to ponder is why and how Peter used or quoted or paraphrased Isaiah 8, 12, and 13. Because that's what this is. This is a rough quotation or a paraphrase of Isaiah 8, 12, and 13. Why did he even think of using that here? And what can we learn by the way he cited that Old Testament text? And the way we'll do it is by going back to look at how he had referred to a text similar to this in chapter 2, and then checking out what he said in Isaiah chapter 8. So, Father, you inspired the whole book from the Old to the New Testament, and you have ordained that the spokesman that you inspired refer back and forth, and I pray that you would help us to see how they do it and learn everything you want us to from the way they quote the Old Testament. Especially Peter, in Jesus' name. Amen. Have no fear of them, nor be troubled. Now, you wouldn't even ordinarily, I wouldn't, know that he was quoting the Old Testament here, unless you're really familiar with the book of Isaiah. And so the way we spot this is by the notes that are in the margin of our Bible, or if you have a study Bible, it's good to have a study Bible of some kind that has notes in the margin, and you'll have a little footnote here, and it says this is a citation from Isaiah 12 to 13. So let's go back and read it. Do not call conspiracy all that this people calls conspiracy, and do not fear what they fear, nor be in dread. But the Lord of hosts, him you shall honor as holy. Let him be your fear. Let him be your dread. And paradoxically, he will become a sanctuary for you, and a stone of offense, and a rock of stumbling to the houses of Israel. So if you don't fear what people ordinarily fear, and you're not in dread of what people are ordinarily in dread of, but instead the Lord of hosts is honored in your heart as holy, that is, he becomes your fear instead of what the world fears, and he becomes your dread instead of what the world dreads. Then instead of his being dreadful and fearful, he becomes a sanctuary. Now Peter reads that, and he says something like perhaps that's the situation these churches are in. There are things to be feared and things to be dreaded. And I don't want them to be afraid. I don't want them to dread all the things that are coming against them. I want the Lord of hosts to be their dread, be their fear. And I want him to prove to be their sanctuary. Thus I want them to honor him. So there's the Old Testament and its context. And you go back here now, you see these two parts, do not fear, and the Lord of hosts you shall honor as holy. So go back here. Have no fear of them, nor be troubled. That's the first half of what we saw. And then in your hearts honor Christ, the Lord, as holy. So those are the two parts that he picks up and quotes. Now, my first question is why did he even think of this passage from Isaiah when he was here? Why did it come to his mind? And one of the reasons it comes to his mind, I think, is that already in chapter 2, verses 6 to 8, he had put together a cluster of Old Testament passages about the stone. This is the reason. For it stands in Scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a stone, a cornerstone, chosen and precious, and whoever believes in him will not be put to shame. So the honor instead of shame is for you to believe. But for those who do not believe, and then he quotes another text, the stone which the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. So they may have rejected him, but he is going to be the cornerstone anyway. So you didn't defeat him. And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. So this is a quote from Isaiah 28:16. And this is a quote from Psalm 118:22. And this is a quote from Isaiah 8, verse 14, which is where the quote comes from that we were just looking at. And the whole point here is, I think Peter thought of this cluster of texts about the stone, because right here, the stone that the builders rejected, and that's what's happening to the people. The Christians, they're being rejected, they're being criticized, they're being thrown out like Jesus was thrown out when the stone was rejected. But this rejection is not defeat. He becomes the cornerstone. That's the great word of hope for these Christians. Just like Jesus was rejected and became the cornerstone, they are being rejected and will reign with Christ. So he thinks of these passages where Christ is called the stone. Now, that's in his mind as he's writing chapter 3. And so this is the stone, stumbling, and the rock of offense. Go back here to the Isaiah passage, and you see it there. Stone of offense, rock of stumbling to both houses of Israel. And this is the passage that he therefore thought of with this perfect content for the point he wants to make here. So that's how I think his mind probably registered here, so that this came to his mind. Have no fear of them. Quoting from Isaiah 8. And honor Christ the Lord as holy. Now, what can we learn about the way he cited it? And I'll draw out 3 lessons here. 1. Christ stands where Yahweh stood. So honor Christ, the Lord is holy, has replaced honor the Lord God as holy. And so Christ has become a replacement for Yahweh, which is how we see the deity of Christ being displayed in the New Testament when these passages from the Old Testament that have Yahweh, the God of Israel, replaced by Christ. That's the first amazing lesson we learn, that Christ stands where Yahweh stood. A second lesson is that Christ is honored as holy by our treasuring him above safety and life. Because it says, don't fear them, don't be troubled by them. Instead, honor Christ the Lord in your hearts. So in your heart, let Christ be your treasure. Let Christ be your sanctuary. Let Christ be your security. So you're not afraid of them at all. And so Christ is honored when we are fearless in the face of others. They could take our life. They could take our safety and our security. But we have Christ, and so he's honored by our fearless treasuring him above what they can take away. And the last lesson we learn is that Christ thus becomes our sanctuary. Just like it said, God will become. If he's our fear, he's our dread, and he's our treasure. He is now our sanctuary in a world where a lot of hostility is being shown against Christians.